I mean, like I say, the printing, the drugs. That's why there's LSD, Lucifer Star drug, LSD, LS, LS, Lucifer Star drugs. Basically LSD, ecstasy, methamphetamine, cocaine. Um, I didn't do acid. That stuff rots your brain. It's really bad. It's like bad LSD, basically. Don't ever use acid. Acid is like this fucked up. It's like bad LSD. They call it bathtub LSD, but basically bad stuff. Like I said, generally you should go to a real drug manufacturer and not just that guy that makes his drugs out of an old boat, and stuff like that. Um, so like I say, good drugs. All the good drugs, like I said, there was my place in Germany that made drugs. There's also my place in China that makes drugs. There's also a couple places in America that also made drugs. I believe there's one in Mexico now that makes drugs. There's quite a few very legitimate and very good scientific drug manufacturers, and you should be getting your drugs from them and not just some guy that cooks it inside of his bathtub or inside of his house. So, anyway, like I said, the best drugs, basically. Like I said, I own this whole country that basically makes drugs somewhere out there. It's my country. I used the money from the drugs to basically buy the country. And then I made drugs legal, and they were very happy. So, anyway, and they basically supplied the world's drugs for quite a while. The good stuff. Anyway, but there's also a place in China, probably in Vietnam. There's also a drug manufacturer there. They made cocaine and some other stuff. Like I say, synthetic drugs, all that stuff. Ecstasy, LSD, all those things. So anyway, yeah, that was me. It's Lucifer Star drugs. Me. I'm the epic creator. I used to supply the world with much more powerful drugs and stuff like that too. I don't think I did what's it called, but basically, my drugs aren't really highly addictive. We didn't emphasize on addictiveness. We emphasized on basically general feeling of euphoria, or not necessarily euphoria, but like tactile senses. The things that make you feel good. When you're touched, and also like things that also affect the real drugs, and good stuff that may actually even increase your intelligence. I was trying for that, but I don't know. I was having my doctors actually see if there was a way to actually increase the human being's intelligence through drugs and stuff like that. I had some people working on it. Anyway, stuff like that. So anyway, whatever. But that's why there's LSD out there. It stands for Lucifer Star Drugs. Um, and also, like, my name's Brian, though. Hope name. Anyway, so, I mean, deep mining, the White Star, the Lusitania, LU, um, Lucifer Star, whatever, or 10, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the Lusitania, the L.S. Titanic, the Leviathan. I had a couple different shipyards, like I say. The Belfast shipyard is actually the old L.S. Slate Company yard, basically. At one point in time, the water table was lower. Then we raised it and became a shipyard. I own land high on the mountains, and I also own land deep in the ocean. Blah, blah, blah. I had cities underground, some pyramids, which they found. They used to be inside of a deep ice cave and stuff like that. I told people that they were down there, and they finally released the fact that they found them. Finally. They probably found them like 20 years ago. Anyway, I told people that they were down there, and that's why people were looking all over and doing surveys and looking underwater and looking at the caverns and everything. I mean, this planet used to be covered with ice, like I say. Like I've been saying. Anyway, certain people that found me and knew about me, blah, blah, or had interrogated me or whatever, it's like, well, I'm pretty much very much open about it. Anyway, yeah, so that's why the American government, the military, blah, blah, not just some ragtag druggies, but actual real troops. Anyway, eventually General Rodney, or Godney, came in And like I said, Rodney's a piece of shit and an idiot, basically. And then there's Rick Bush, or Rick Bash, Rich Bash, my next door neighbor, and also some other really annoying people that are trying to put me in jail or commit me. I'm Lusifer Star, also named Brian. So anyway, and then of course there's Mike, whatever, other annoying people. So anyway, yeah. And then there's my darling Karen. I love you, Karen. Stay safe. Kick some ass. Like one woman that actually knows me and actually loves me, love me, and I love her very, 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 very much. And she's my darling. She's one of the only girls that got to know me, and actually I loved her very much. And she was perfect. She had blue eyes, and she's very hot inside. Gorgeous girl. I love you too, darling. So anyway, most other people, like Rodney, didn't really know me. Even Rosalie didn't really know me. Rosella knew me. And David knew me. And very few people actually knew me. So anyway, knew me as in my human form anyway. Like I said, this is my human form. This is Lucifer Star in human form. So also known as Brian.